Hi everyone, I'm attorney Aiden Kramer with the law office of Aiden Kramer in Colorado, and you are watching All Up in Your Business. In case you've been living under a rock the last few weeks, I'm sorry to break it to you, but Prince passed away a couple of weeks ago. The musician, artist, Prince, unfortunately did die a few weeks ago from, I think they're saying it was drug-related, prescription drug-related, I don't really know, but now that he has passed away and his estate is starting to go through the court process, a big story that's coming up is that he died without a will, or at least nobody has been able to find one. He very well may have had one, but no one's able to find it. So people, for the most part, are assuming that he didn't have a will or a trust or anything in place. So since this is a big news story now, and wills are part of what I do, in case you guys didn't know, along with forming businesses, I also write a lot of wills. So I wanted to take this as an opportunity to talk about why it's so important to have a will and what happens if you die without one. The basic purpose of a will is to let you decide how your assets are going to be distributed after you die. You get to instruct where your money goes, where your property goes, and who gets what portion of your estate. If you die and you don't have a will, then your state essentially has written one for you. There are laws in every state that say how things will be distributed if someone dies without a will. Typically, your assets will go to your closest living relatives. So if you're married, it's usually your spouse who will get your entire estate or a portion of it. If you have kids, they will typically get something depending on their age. If you're not married, no kids, then usually it's your parents. If they don't exist anymore, then it's your siblings, and it kind of goes down the line. So basically, if you die without a will, your stuff just goes to your closest living relative. So for many people, this might be fine. If you're married and you don't have kids and you want your spouse to get everything, then typically without a will, that's what will happen. But the drawback is that it leaves out everybody else. If you're unmarried but you have a partner or a significant other, they are going to be completely left out in the dust. I don't know of any state that makes a provision for boyfriends or girlfriends or life partners that aren't legally married. So they're gone. They don't get anything. Maybe you have friends or other relatives that you care about and that you want to give something to. Without a will, they're not going to get anything. If you don't have kids, but you're really close to your nieces or nephews and you want to give them a share of your estate, most likely they won't unless they are your only living relatives. Charities, if you're passionate about a cause or you donate money to a charity and you might want to donate your estate or a portion of it to benefit a charity that you like, they won't get anything unless you put it in a will or a trust. So applying this to the Prince situation, from what I've read, his parents weren't living anymore. He didn't have any living children. His closest living relatives were his sister and then a few half siblings, I think he has. And so all of his assets, all of his estate are going to be divided amongst his sister and his other siblings. Another important thing that your will does, and I think this is probably more important than distributing your assets, but it also allows you to say who you want to take care of your children if you pass away and they are minors. If you have a specific relative that you trust and you want to have your kids if you die, you need to make sure you designate that in writing in a will, because otherwise no one's going to know that those are your wishes. And if you die without a will, the courts essentially are going to decide who gets your kids. Of course, they are thinking in the best interest of the kids. They don't want to just throw your kids to somebody who's not going to take good care of them. They're going to look at all your family members, anyone who's in the running basically, and make a decision about what's in the best interest of the kids. But who a court decides may not be who you would want to take your kids. So that is why it's so important to have a will that addresses who should take your kids if you pass away. I'm hopeful that something good will come out of Prince passing away. Since this is such a big news story, him dying without a will, I'm hopeful that the general public is going to learn from it and will take note of how important it is to have a will. To end on a lighter note, instead of talking about death, I would love for you guys to comment below and tell me what your favorite Prince song is. My favorite Prince song is Doves Cry. I just love that song. That's definitely my favorite, but I would love to know what your favorite Prince songs are. If you're in Colorado and you want help with getting your estate plan done or drafting a will, I'm happy to help. My phone number and email are below. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Aiden Kramer, and I'll see you next time.